Hey y'all, I'm Blaine Phillips.
And I'm Phillips-LeVan.
We're married, like just a minute ago, but we've been together for 14 years.
We have a teenage daughter.
Which means she's basically an adult, right?
We're also growing a business on the side together.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Through all of that, we've learned how to improve so many aspects of our lives and show up in an amazing way.
So we decided to host a podcast to share our journey with you.
It's called Let's Do Life Together, because that's just what we want to do with you.
So if you could use some tips and tricks on how to make life a little smoother,
then you're in the right place.
come on in and let's do life.
Do you feel like these days you can't really say anything that you're interested in or Google anything that you're like, what is that, without getting pixeled for it? You're definitely going to get some sort of ad. It's going to pop up in your social media feeds. It's like they know because they do. It's like they're listening because they are. And you see those ads, and I don't know if you're like me, Jason, when you see them, do you trust them? Or are you like, is that legit? Like, does that thing really work?
I mean, it kind of depends on what it is. But yeah, you definitely get lots of different options for the types of things that you Googled.
It's true. There are lots of options. And I always wonder, I don't know if that really works or if it doesn't. And the best form of like a recommendation, as far as I'm concerned, is from someone I know that I either know personally or maybe I follow in social media land, but I trust them for whatever reason. We jive. I know that they actually have this thing. They used it. They loved it. Those are the best forms of recommendation. And people ask me often for recommendations. In fact, so often that it became a part of our newsletter that we send out. I shouldn't really say newsletter. I guess it's just an email. I send one email per week that kind of says, hey, this is what's on my heart. This is what's going on. Maybe this is a bit of advice that might be helpful to you in your life. Here's what we're doing in life, yada, yada. And there's a section that I include things that we're into right now. Like, what are we loving? Because that's what I love the most, is recommendations from a real live person that I know or that I've connected with, and I trust their opinion because I know we have similar interests. I want to know if they're using it, if they like it, if they trust it, because then I'm way more likely to actually pull the trigger on something I've been pixeled for or not, because I trust their recommendation. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take you on a little tour of our house, kind of. Not really. Room to room-ish is how I thought about it, and just tell you some of the things that right now in our lives we're crushing on, that we like and why we like them and why we use them. And maybe you've been thinking about it. Here's our honest opinion. Maybe you have it. Maybe you didn't even know it existed, because that's the other cool thing when people tell me about something and I'm like, what? That's a thing? I didn't even know that was a thing. I definitely need one of those. Insert avocado slicer here. But that's what we're going to do. You ready, Jason?
I guess so. Let's do it.
Let's try again. Are you ready, Jason?
Yes.
Try not to sound too excited about it. I mean, we're going to talk about some of your favorite things too. You want to start in the kitchen?
Okay. Sure.
All right.
We got to come up with some?
No.
Did you write some down for us
I
to talk
did write
about?
some down, and then you can just come up with some. Think about it as they go. As you've heard before, we like to keep things minimal around here. We don't like a lot of stuff, one of us more than the other. But it gets tricky when you get in the kitchen, I think. Like, kitchen space is limited, especially for us since we've downsized from the house to the apartment. Kitchen space is a high commodity item. And appliances, it's easy to have a gadget or an appliance for every little task that you do. But let's be honest, many of those things can be combined. We have one really good blender that I love. I have a crock pot that I love because as much as we're on the go, it's really nice to put things in it. But we kept seeing the hype and the hearing about an air fryer. And I'm like, do we really need an air fryer? Like, really? That's a substantial piece of equipment that we are considering putting into our kitchen. Like, do we really need an air fryer? And I kept thinking, I wish I knew someone that actually had it and I could go to their house and taste something that came out of it. But I didn't. I did not know anyone. And then it was a gift from my loving, dearing husband to me. I think it was birthday, might have been Mother's Day. I think it was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Aren't you not supposed to buy Mother's things with plugs?
I don't know. Did I buy it?
Yes, you bought it.
For you?
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
Good job.
Wow, you're the greatest gift giver ever.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Yes. So Jason bought it. What do you remember the brand?
Nope.
All right.
I can go look.
You're doing really good. We didn't buy this super
it.
fancy air fryer. We'll link to it in the show notes if you want to know the exact one that we have. It was on Amazon. He ordered it. And it's not even the biggest one. I think it's like middle-sized one.
I mean, I usually I do some research before I just buy something. So it must have had decent reviews and ratings and
cost
the
effective.
Right size.
Yeah.
Right.
As compared to cost. And it's been great. It really has. Like, it is actually an appliance that we use and we love. And yes, takes up a little more space. In fact, there was not room for it in our kitchen. It lives on a shelf in the laundry area, but that's not far from the kitchen because we are in an apartment. But I love it. I love it for those like frozen things that you buy that you can just take directly from the freezer to the air fryer and they're crispy. You can buy frozen
Sweet
French fries. Yeah.
Or some root vegetable fry medley or whatever you get.
Yeah, Trader Joe's has this great root vegetable medley that has sweet potatoes and carrots and parsnips and like beets, and they're all in fries, like cut up in the shape of fries. And you just pop them in there. It's like 15 minutes. You do a little shake, a little oil spritz, and they really are crunchy, crispy fries. And you can do that with all kinds of like spring rolls, frozen things. I think that's what we've used it the most for is frozen, more of the convenience things that you just do,
like appetizer type of thing or sides. But I've done chicken wings in there too. They turn out pretty well too.
Yeah. So air fryer, didn't know that I needed it, wasn't sure, was on the fence for a long time, but we love it. It's a thing that we are currently into. Another thing that happens in the kitchen almost every single week is we make a sheet pan omelet. That's a recipe, one that we kind of developed over the years. You can find it. You can find the actual recipe on the blog. You can find a video on exactly how I did it on my IGTV. Everything about this sheet pan omelet is all over our world of social media because it's so freaking easy. Like you can just, whatever vegetables you have on hand, or no vegetables if you don't want to. If you want to make it with meat and cheese, whatever. But you just put it all on a sheet pan, dump a big bowl of scrambled eggs on it, and cook the whole thing at one time. And it serves breakfast for Jason and I all week long. You can wrap it in a burrito, or no, wrap it in a tortilla if you want to make it a breakfast burrito. You can put it between two pieces of bread, an English muffin, and make a sandwich, or you can just eat it by itself. It's so simple to prep over the weekend and eat all week, and we love it. You can change the flavors however you want.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the original ingredients are. You just get lots and lots of eggs and then some veg.
Is that the official recipe?
Pretty much.
Lots and lots of eggs and some veg. Sheet pan omelet. We are crushing on it. It's a recipe. We love it. Like I said, the recipe is over on the website, blamephillips.com. Go to my IGTV. You can watch me make it right in our little apartment kitchen, but it's a staple in this house. And one of the things that we often use in it is Flavor God seasoning. That's a brand, Flavor God. You can get it directly from their website. They always have killer sales. Or you can get it from Amazon if you want to, if you can't find it. But they have...
It's usually, I don't know if I've ever bought it from Amazon, but from their website, you just don't need it right away. So there's usually some lead time to actually get it. But,
yeah, that's true.
But they have specials all the time. So we buy in bulk. We buy it like once or twice a year.
We have two favorites. They have a garlic lovers. I guess three favorites, really. They have a garlic lovers, and they have an everything spicy, which is not spicy. It's just really good. And it legit goes on everything. Chicken wings, eggs, meat, doesn't matter. And then we like their Taco Tuesday one. It's just a really good like Mexican seasoning. But the thing about these seasonings are there's no salt. So it's not salted up. Like it's legit real spices just mixed together. Sienna has a favorite. It's like buttery, what is that called? It's like cinnamon roll or something.
I don't mess with those.
There's a couple of sweet ones. There's a cinnamon roll. Donut. Yeah. And a chocolate donut, which are good. She'll put them like on the top of her oatmeal, and it's just a sprinkling. It's a seasoning, but Flavor God is the company. And oh man, it's so fresh and so good, and it's not sodium up, like where you can't even taste the real seasoning. So I would put garlic lovers on everything, every shape or size, I think.
Yeah. I've got there's two like chicken wing type flavors. So I think they call it hot wings, and then there's like a buffalo, and I've used both of those for chicken wings.
Yeah. So flavor gone.
Ranch. There's a ranch.
Oh, there's a ranch. There's like
popcorn. I'll do like garlic ranch popcorn.
There's a cheesy one that's not cheesy. So like if you not actually cheesy, but tastes cheesy. So if you don't do dairy, that's always a really good option. There's just tons of them. So go check it out. They have great sales, like I said, all the time. But that's a thing we love. We'll move on to the exercise part of our life. You know, we exercise. It's a family affair around here. And I think sometimes, listen, I'm here to talk about leggings for a second. I never knew.
Do you ever wear leggings?
I wear leggings every day of my life. At least one pair of leggings every day of my life. Sometimes it's two. Sometimes I work out and then shower and then put on fresh leggings because I never knew that I could love them so much, but it has to be the right kind. I like high-waisted, and I like the sucker inner ones that hold you where they go, and I don't want to pay a cajillion dollars for them. And I found those to be Old Navy leggings. I did an IGTV about this very topic, just showing you what I liked and why I like them, because it's important to have good leggings. And I used to run and things would jiggle or the waistband would roll down, and it's because they weren't sturdy enough. I like the compression ones, and I like them to be high-waisted because when you're jumping and you're running and you just want your business to be held in. So you need good leggings, ladies, and both Sienna and I are in love with Old Navy, and they're affordable. They're not $100 a pair. Like, they're always on sale. You can get them. I bought a pair last week on the clearance rack for $11. They're compression. They've got fun little designs on the side, and they're perfect. I love my leggings.
I have one leggings, right? Do you count those count as leggings?
You do have
like
one leggings. Yes.
Like underwear, long underwear type, compression-y legging things.
That's a very official title
right?
You gave it there. That you wear under your shorts when it's cold. Yes.
Yeah.
They're not Old Navy.
No. But I like them. They work.
Well, there you go.
But thing I wear all the time is my running shoes. So I've got two main shoes, running shoes and cross trainers type shoes. Well, then I have my walking around shoes, which is used to be my running shoes. But when we found, after we did like a running clinic, and we started to really pay attention to technique and form and how we're running, how our foot is hitting the ground when we run, we decided when it was time for new shoes, running shoes, we would try some of the zero drop, which means it doesn't raise up like on the back. So it's just flat, almost like you're barefoot. There's some cushion, but we bought the Ultra, which is the brand.
That's ALTRA, Ultra. And here's the thing I love about them. I have a wide foot. Like, my foot is just wide in general. So the toe box of these shoes is just wider. Like, I don't need... They're meant to give your feet room because if you're running, your feet are going to swell after a period of time. That's just, if you're on your feet, like that's science. That's how that works. And they're made for that. But I don't need a wide shoe anymore. I have these. I fell in love with them so much that I have a pair of Ultra running shoes. And then I bought a different brand, or not a different brand, a different type of Ultras, just like street shoes for around town, like just whatever, walking around and going to stores, because they're so comfortable. My toes used to feel squished in things, and these shoes are cool because on the bottom of them it like looks like a footprint. Like they are called foot shaped shoes, and they really are. Jason and I both have them, and Sienna wants a pair of them because she's just wearing out her current running shoes, and she wants these. It's a family affair around here for Ultra running shoes.
Yeah, my trail shoes, which is the shoes they race in are Ultra also, which is nice because they feel the same. So it's not like I'm training in one type of shoe and then when it's time to race, I switch to some other totally different feel.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
all
forgot
the
that.
same.
Yeah. I have the same thing. Sienna does too. She does have Ultra trail shoes. So it's a brand around here. If you have a wider foot or you're just looking for something different when you're running, just check them out. You can get great sales on those too. If they're online, I would recommend going to an actual store, getting your foot size so you know your size. But then you can I've bought them on Amazon and gotten not paid like an arm and a leg for them. So it's a good deal.
You really have to. There's some considerations. If you're already run, you're going to want to, just message me. Because there's just a lot. We can that can be another episode.
That's true. There's a lot to consider if you're already a runner and you want to change the type of shoe you run in. But if you're looking for something that's around town and it's a foot-shaped wider base, I would suggest looking at their street shoe. So let me tell you, on the last topic of exercise, Jason has really gotten into running and he's running more and more. And in the cold weather especially, oh my gosh, he would go for a run or we would work out and we get home and for hours after we would get home, he's like coughing and kind of clearing his throat.
Kind of wheezing a little bit.
Wheezing. It's kind of super obnoxious. Hopefully he didn't hear that. I don't mean it, but it's like time to go to bed and he's coughing and I don't know if it bothers him, but it was bothering me for him that he sounded like that. And Jason doesn't have asthma or he never has, but I became somewhat convinced that he was getting exercise-induced asthma, which is a real thing. And I am pretty sure that's what he was getting. So,
and it's worse in the cold.
Oh, it's definitely worse in the cold. Like it's worse. And did it affect your performance? Do you think? Like, did you have trouble breathing when running, or it was just more afterwards?
It was always just after.
Yeah. So we heard about this stuff, and it's called Flow, like FLO2, the number 2. Flow 2 spray. They have their own website. Like you can't get it on Amazon. You can only get it through them. It's Flow 2. You can Google it. It'll come up. It's literally a bottle. It's kind of purple in color. It's a spray. And it's all natural. And we weren't really sure, but we just kept hearing great things about it. One of our coaches at the gym is an asthmatic and had the same issues. And somebody at a race told him about it. He ordered it and got it. And so I finally just ordered it for Jason and bought it. So tell us.
I mean, it's hard to tell what it actually does because you just kind of spray it on your hands. And then inhale it. So you put your hands up to your nose and breathe it in a couple times, and then during the workout, I might get a couple more whiffs along the way. But I guess what it does is it kind of opens everything up somehow. Yeah, and it just I don't wheeze after. It's
so really wild because the ingredients are like clove. Like it's all natural. It just opens up the airways in just the right way. He does not wheeze. He does not cough anymore. So I'm guessing you hadn't heard about it because we hadn't either, but I don't use it. He's the only one in our family that uses it, but it's been such a relief for everyone because Sienna and I would notice him wheezing and it worried me a little bit. And I don't know, it just wasn't good, but this stuff it's legit. So if you've ever dealt with exercise-induced asthma or anything like that, I would recommend checking it out. Just Google Flow 2 and you will come up with it. Like I said, it's not on Amazon. You have to go to their website directly. But I actually found a coupon code on their Instagram and saved 25%. So I'm sure if you poke around like I did, you could do the same thing.
And we can probably put a bunch of links, right?
Yeah, we can put a bunch of links. Next up, we will talk about, I'll share quickly, we read all the time. Jason and I don't usually read the same thing. We have very different interests. I'm only ever reading one book at a time, and it is typically meant to learn and grow. Jason is usually reading 2, a learn and grow, and one for just pleasure that he reads himself to sleep at night with. the book that we are currently, I read this book. I heard about it through a podcast and I actually read the book. The book is called Getting the Love You Want by Harville Hendrix. I read the book, and then the second part of the book is actually exercises for your relationship, your marriage, your partnership, whether you are actually married or not. Whoever you are in partnership with, it is exercises designed to strengthen that relationship and grow. And we're always wanting to grow over here, both in our business and in our fitness and in our health and in our relationship and as parents. And so this is something that I was like, hey, I'm going to read this book, but I want you to agree to go through these exercises with me. And I mean, it's like a 3-month process because you don't go fast and life happens. And it's like little habits that you put into place, and you start with one. And once you get comfortable doing that, and it's actually like a habit that you've incorporated into your life, then you move on to the next one. And so I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed kind of the science behind it, the stories that it told. It's just, he's a marriage or couples therapist, I guess, for many, many years. And him and his wife have done this work together, and they put these exercises together. So it's something that we are actively working through right now that I'm digging, and I'm excited about it. So if you're just looking for something to walk through, maybe you want to go to therapy, but your partner doesn't, or vice versa, or you just want to grow a little bit and strengthen your relationship. It's something you can do at home. I literally rented the book from the library. Did you say rented? Checked it out. What do you say? I don't know. Whatever. Borrowed. I borrowed it from our public library. So it's called Getting the Love You Want. That is what we're into on the book front. Jason, You want to tell us about TV?
No, I'm talking about books.
Oh, all right.
So I usually have 2 books, and my, what we call just for fun book, I guess, is typically some kind of like thriller, just quick paced, not super long, easy to read. But I found, I don't know, it's been a few years now, there's this website called BookBub, I think, and it'll just send you tell it like what your interests are, and then every day it'll say, here's some books that are on sale at the Amazon.com, and this is all for like Kindle or digital, and many times there's free ones, so I'll get those lots of times, just grab them, kind of stockpile a bunch of books. But it's nice because a lot of times the authors that have series will give you the first one for free. And then a lot of the ones that I've been reading are just, the second book is like $3 or something like that. So it's kind of an easy way to find some cheap digital books or discover some new series or authors. So,
well, that's a handy little tip. I never even knew that. Learned something new. We are not a family that watches a ton of television. That's just, we just don't. I mean, we do watch television, but it is rarely on. And if it's on, it's only ever on in the evenings. Jason and I have a couple shows that we'll watch just to wind down at night after Sina's gone to bed. And then we have a few things that we just watch here and there as a family. I have a lot of hopes and dreams and goals, and I want to accomplish those. And binge watching Netflix is not going to get me there, just keeping it real. But when we do turn on Netflix, because we do not have cable, we have Netflix and Hulu. When we watch Netflix as a family, and even Jason and I by ourselves, we really enjoy documentaries. I find them fascinating. There are documentaries and docu-series, so like maybe 4 or 5 episodes of something on absolutely everything from like a Lady Gaga story to going vegan and everything in between. You can learn things about people that you never knew. I mean, masterful people who have accomplished amazing things in their lives and see the course that took them there, and then learn about our healthcare system and just different things. I will caution you that it is a documentary, so it's always going to be skewed in the favor of whoever is doing that. Like someone paid to produce that, and if they want you to eat more plants, it's going to be skewed in that direction. And if they want you to eat more meat, they're going to show you the science behind why you should eat more meat and all the things like that. So you have to guard yourself a little bit and do your own research, but it's fascinating to see the other sides of the coin and just really learn about different things. I don't know. We all enjoy them. And there's some that are busts, like everything else on TV. And then there's some that are awesome. One that we are currently watching as a family, I guess it's a docuseries, I would think. Maybe it's not, but it's just a fun little show that's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's not really docuseries. It's just like, I don't know what it is. It's entertainment. Well, it's entertaining, but it's just this guy telling you a whole bunch of facts and history type stuff. But
in a really fun way. It's called Adam Ruins Everything. And it's done well, but it's like myths that we believe because the world has skewed us to believe that. And he's like a myth buster out there in a comedic way, showing you like, hey, actually, engagement rings aren't a real thing. The diamond manufacturer just came up with that. And it's really cool. They're like short 20-minute little episodes that are appropriate for the whole family. So we all watch them together and they're funny. We watched, Jason and I watched, it was just us, but we watched a docuseries called When They See Us, which was really powerful. Like, it's hard to watch at times. Like, I definitely cried and covered my eyes and got mad, and it's like an emotional roller coaster, but it was done so well, and it's issues that we need to know about and we need to talk about. So that was good.
Yeah. Wild Wild Country.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Like, Bananarama's crazy. Cool and interesting, but Bananarama's crazy.
Yeah, there's always characters in all these things, and different people stand out outside of just whatever event they're talking about or whatever cause. So that was definitely a memorable one.
Yeah, Wild Wild Country. That's true. But just think about a documentary next time. Like, if you're just watching some random drama TV show or just whatever you're clicking through, why don't you click through the documentary series when you're together with your family and just think of something that might be interesting. Like, you want to learn about root canals? There's a crazy one on there about root canals, and you'll never get a root canal again in your life. But they're cool. Just remember, they are skewed. So do your own research. Don't maybe change your whole diet or your whole lifestyle based on one documentary. Just saying. And I thought we'd kind of round out the things we're currently into category with like what we do for fun as a family. Like I just told you, sometimes we wind down and watch documentaries. Sometimes we play a board game. We like games. All of us do. All three of us like games. Probably our tried and true family favorite for several years now. Like if you tell Sienna to pick a game, I guarantee she's going to come back with Categories. It's just a simple board game. You can get it at any department store. It makes you think. It's super fun. Like there's like a letter and then you have to think of this topic that they tell you based on, and it has to start with that letter that you roll. So simple. And then you have like until the hourglass runs out and it time's up and then you score the points. But
yeah, and that one, you can go pretty young on that one too, I think.
Yeah, I think you can go pretty young. You can travel with it. We've taken it to breweries. We've taken it in the car. We've taken it to other people's houses. We love that one. We also love Catchphrase. That really travels because you don't need a pencil or paper or anything. You just need the physical little handheld thing that you pass around, and it makes people laugh because it's better. The more people you have, the more fun it is. So that's a really fun one.
Yeah. Bananagrams is good. So it's kind of like Scrabble, but way easier.
Not as structured. Yeah, it's easier. That's definitely a cool one for younger kids as they're learning to spell words. They can, and it's easier than Scrabble. I always found Scrabble to be hard. And then let me just tell you, if you have a teenager in your house or even a tween, I guarantee you've heard of TikTok.
Oh, boy.
And if you haven't heard of TikTok, you are living under a rock. It is all the rage in the social media world these days. And if you haven't recorded a TikTok with your teenager or tweenager or whatever you want to call it, do that. Just go ahead and do it because they're watching them. They are recording them most likely. Maybe they're not even sharing them. They're just recording them because they think it's funny. And if you wanted to get in on it, Jason and I have both done it. Jason's not very good at TikTok. What? No, you are like
talk.
Yeah.
Like tick and talk.
You are great at tick
On
and
it.
talk. Yep. He is. I think he's TikTok famous. He's so good. He's not. Yeah, probably. But Sienna thinks it's so funny because we're her parents and we're not as cool or as woke as she is or whatever one might say. But your kids are watching it and they're doing it and it's funny and it's 15-second little blitz of crazy dance moves that if you ask Jason, he'll say they all look the same.
Right. And I mean, it's kind of off the what we're into topic, but any app type of thing that your kid's using, you should get on it too, just to see what's happening and make sure you're following your kid and
you know who they're following
Right.
and what they're watching and stay involved in it. So if you didn't know about TikTok and you have a teenager, ask them about TikTok and then get to know about it. Because I promise you, they know about it. They might not be creating videos for it, but they're watching them and they know about it. Plus, it's kind of fun. Like this weekend, we were at a brewery. Jason was tasting a couple beers and Sienna and I made a TikTok. She thought it was great. Like that was a little bonding moment for she and I. It was funny. I look ridiculous and we laugh about it and we go on about the day.
Yeah. It's 15 seconds, is it?
Yeah, they're just 15-second
so
little
a 15
clips.
15-second video that takes 30 to 40 minutes to make because you have to practice certain moves or whatever.
If you're a kid, you're taking forever because they're watching it and then practicing and watching again and then practicing and then they make it. So, but that's activities. So that's just a little tour through our lives of the things that we are currently into, currently crushing on. Like I said, I share something every week in my little email that I send out. So if you're not on that list and you want to be, head on over to the website, blainephillips.com, and let me know because I send out all kinds of cool things there. And if there's anything that we talked about here and you want to know more information, just ask. Or like I said, I think the best recommendations come from the people that you know and you trust their opinion. So hopefully this was helpful to you today. That's what we're here for, is to put out podcast episodes that you find helpful. And we hope this one was.
Yeah, and these are all just things that we've bought. None of this, I don't think, is affiliate type of stuff. So
No. Just our own personal use, things that we like, and we're friends, and we're telling you about it. So until next time.